Hi there, I am Ramesh, your soft skill trainer, and today we are going to discuss about how to overcome suicidal thoughts. Here we are going to discuss about how to overcome suicidal thoughts at any age, particularly teenagers. Why I choose this topic? Because most of the students are committing suicides because of exams or whatever sort of fear or whatever sort of disbelief. And here, what are the basic reasons, or what is exactly suicide? Suicide is an act of intentionally causing one's own death. Act of intentionally causing one's own death. One's own death. Act of intentionally causing one's own death. Nothing but self-killing. And I have one question here. We are going to die one day. Why should die again? Or why should commit suicide? We are going to die. Who told you? Like thousands of years we can live in this world. Okay, at least after 70 or 80 years, there is no guarantee also to live in this world. Then why should keep on committing or trying to kill yourself? No need to kill, because one day we are going to die. So that fact we should know. And coming to the what are the basic reasons and what you are going to learn here, mainly how to overcome suicidal thoughts and what are the basic reasons for it and how they start originating from your mind or so many experiences or domestic violence or some sexual abuse or whenever you fail in some subject, there is no emotionally consideration of your feelings or emotional neglect, I would say. Particularly parents, they don't consider your emotional thoughts. Okay, so all these also reasons how to overcome. So it is something like we have to make a habit to come out of any depression. Write down your all your strengths in a diary, read out every day. That also build up some self-esteem. And we'll go for main topic. What are the basic reasons for suicidal thoughts? Mainly here it is because of depression, schizophrenia, or anxiety, stress. Because of depression, schizophrenia, anxiety, or stress. What is stress? Stress is nothing but there is an imbalance between supply and demand, whatever it is, whether skills or money or anything, or emotional attachment also. There is an imbalance between demand and supply, which leads to stress. Anxiety, mainly performance anxiety, we have been observing, particularly when you are writing some exam and students are writing or people are writing some exams. Performance anxiety we used to observe. How to overcome performance anxiety? You have to practice more. You have to recall whatever the stuff, particularly academic stuff, recall more time. Revision, you have to do more revision. Then also you can come across the anxiety. And depression or schizophrenia, mainly because of here emotional hurtings, particularly relationship failure, or in teenagers I have been observed like love failure or exam failure. These leads to depression. Initially starts like a depression followed by even schizophrenia, and this psychological disorders or mental disorders will be started. Mental disorders will be started. That when you start administering medicine for this type of diseases, and you might addict to these drugs also. That is the reason, my friends, whenever you get small sort of depression, better come out of that by engaging in some activity. You have to engage in your mind on some activity. Then you don't get any depressive thoughts. You have to keep on focus on your interested job, interested goal. And what are the other reasons for this suicidal thoughts? Divorce. Divorce also one of the reasons. Day to day divorce are increasing. Day to day divorce are increasing. Why? There is we just loving the gadgets, we just loving the things or objects, we don't love the people. That is also one of the reason. And here independence also increasing, particularly in case of women also financial independence is increasing. That is also one of the reason. Relationship breakup, when relationship breakup, that is the uh, big thing for human being, I guess. Big thing for human being, uh, relationship. When there is no relationship, then no need to consider any sort of all these amenities, money, nothing to count. Because relationship is a big thing, because human being is a social animal. Human being is a social animal. That is the reason. So we have to manage the relationship, and every day we'll get some hugs and also great words which will also inspire you. Great words and hug, okay, particularly whether your mother or your friend, which also motivate you. And sexual abuse also playing a main role. Sexual abuse also playing a main role. Better come out of that. Particularly domestic violence we have been observed, so by family members or like beloved people also. Sometimes they are doing sexual abuse. That is a basic cause in case of woman or a girl for getting suicidal thoughts. And cyberbullying. So when you post something on Facebook or WhatsApp, anywhere, here somebody starts commenting you, or they don't give more likes, that also leads to suicidal tendencies. Better don't completely attract or connect to the social media, because here that is some illusion. Whether people like or dislike, secondary. You are great because you have intellect. Mankind or human being have great intellect. Just believe yourself. And what are the other reasons? Unhappiness also leads to suicidal thoughts. Something like boredom. Life is boring like anything. Life is boring like anything. That also leads to nothing but here a state of being lost. When you lost something, you are in that state only. Whether love or something, exam failure. When you are in a state of being lost, that also leads to depression. That also leads to suicidal thoughts. And whenever you want to say something and something is left unsaid, you want to say something, you are unable to express it. Some emotion is not revealed out. It is not told. That is also reason for unhappiness, which leads to disbelief, and belief system will be decreased, or disbelief, and which also a reason for suicidal tendencies. And what are the other reasons? Here, easy availability of drug, particularly narcotics, sedatives, hypnotics, easy availability of the drugs they administer, and they will be addicted to the drugs. That also kills the people. And out of all, I'll give more important or whatever the statement over here. Cutthroat competition, particularly medicine and IITs. We have only 11,000 admission IITs, but people are focusing about 2 to 3 lakhs, and hardly 5% people can succeed in that IITs, like to obtain IIT seat. And but all the people are keep on focusing on IIT. They think that only engineering or medicine only the course they can choose, and they left the rest of the courses. My friends, just believe n number of jobs, n number of career opportunities we have. Just believe and try to search or try to Google over it, and you get so many jobs. And I would say here, job is the one which have a requirement for people. Job is the one which people have more requirement. That is the job. Any sort of job, whether you take event management, or people are crazy about celebrating birthdays or any sort of something function. They want celebrations. Then everybody needs all these whatever the event management type of job, or else they want cake. They want so many things. Okay, whether for event management, some amusing like magician required. So many things will be there. That is the reason you can choose any sort of job. It is not you failed in education or academics, then you have to commit suicide. It is a foolish thing, because we have n number of jobs. We have n number of options in life to lead it. And what are the other reasons? So parents and teachers, they don't consider emotionally, like when somebody student or a children get emotionally blamed, then they don't consider emotionally neglecting their feelings. That is also one of the reasons here mainly is suicidal thoughts are increasing, and those are the basic reasons why suicidal thoughts are increasing. How to overcome this type of suicidal thoughts? And I have gone through some YouTube stuff and I have researched something. Here, one of the teacher made something like this. When you keep focusing on making some content, and you keep focusing on making some content based on the whether depression or anxiety or whatever the sort of stress or suicidal thoughts, when you keep on focusing on this type of stuff, then you write some review articles and keep on discussing this type of things, and how to solve any sort of thing, particularly disbelief or stress, anything. Then slowly students come to know why really stress originating, why really suicidal thoughts are increasing, why really in teenagers only this type of thing is increasing, or particularly in the world about 60% of the people are committing suicides every year, and in India and China about 30% people are committing suicide. So day to day suicidal tendencies are increasing. So we have to manage, first believe yourself, how the belief system will come. Suppose something like you have to repeat the action, you have to practice it, you have to experience it. So many things will be there. Yeah, particularly your experiences play main role than the whatever the academic content or whatever the things. Okay, mainly experiences, something you faced, some incident, based on that you learn something. So nothing but that mental pattern will change, your mental pattern or memory will change. That leads to the way you see the objects will change, the way you see the incident will change, not how incident see on you, or not how incident check you, how you check the incident. Okay, how you see the incident matters, how you see the instinct matters, how you see the things matters, not things how they look on you, how they see on you. Okay, that is the reason here all your experiences leads to belief system. Better go through different experiences which give you a great mental pattern. You can face any sort of thing. And what are the other? So nothing but make some content based on the whatever these suicidal thoughts or depression. Then we have to discuss in academics. That is also one of the great whatever the effort, great effort to deal with these suicidal thoughts. And anybody can take decision based on emotion. Anybody can take decision based on the emotion. Here we have to consider people emotions. We have to consider people emotions. Something feel bullying or something like feel insult. We have to consider them. When you keep on showing angry on whether it is kids or students, anybody, they inculcate some hatred feeling. When you keep on showing anger on students or children, they inculcate some hatred feeling. That is the reason, and they repeat it, right? Mimic the action, they mimic the action. So don't go for that. Better consider their emotions and give some sort of solutions. And here I'll give some examples why we no need to take or no need to commit any suicide. And here we all know Sri Meda, CA Institute director, he at the age of very young age, about plus 2 age, I guess, hardly 15 to 18 years, he something like paralyzed. He was paralyzed and is unable to manage his day-to-day life. And what happened? He's keep on crying. He was keep on crying on the hospital bed. So one day, one nurse came to him and she asked that, "Why were you crying?" She asked that, "Why were you crying?" Then he replied, "Actually, my limbs are paralyzed. My limbs are paralyzed. That is the reason I am crying." So here she told in this way, so many people have limbs, what they are doing. So many people have limbs, what they are doing. Then why do you cry? They, even though they have both the limbs and something like they have amenities, everything they have, then what they are doing? They are also getting depression. They are unable to do whatever the goal they want to reach, because it doesn't matter you have limbs, or it doesn't matter you have eyes, it doesn't matter any disability, it doesn't matter any disability. Only matter is your passionate goal statement. Only matter is your passionate goal statement. Then you can reach, my friends. Don't be bullying yourself. Don't be think belittle about yourself. And one more example I'll give. Have you heard about Nick Bowie? He is from some country, Canada or USA. He doesn't have both upper and lower limbs, and he can swim, he can play golf, and he is the best, one of the best motivational trainer in the world. And how he achieved? Because of failure, 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 and he keep on focusing on his skills. What are the skills that I lack? Okay, I don't have, maybe he think that I don't have both limbs, whether upper limbs or lower limbs, but I have intellect. I have intellect, my friends. I have intellect. Human being have to focus in such a way. Every time, no need to uh, focus on the weakness. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths. When you have more belief on your strengths, keep on write on a diary. Keep on write in a diary what are your strengths, and recall every day. Whenever you get depression, recall your strengths. Then this way also you can come out of that sort of thoughts. And what are the other sort of solutions here? That is write your strengths and keep on read out. I am great, I am a human being, I have intellect, I am great, I am a human being, I have intellect, I can solve any sort of problem. In such a way you can something like give positive words to yourself, self motivate yourself. And time being also dissolves the intensity of thought. When time goes, intensity of the thought will be decreased. That is the reason. Just postpone your suicidal thoughts or suicidal activity. When you we used to postpone great things, like if you want to open the book, tomorrow we'll study. I think this is not the right time, right? So you used to postpone great activities. Why can't you postpone your suicidal thoughts also? So better postpone it. And whenever you postpone, severity of the thought or intensity of the thought will be decreased or dissolved. Then this is also one of the way to solve the suicidal thoughts. And you have to accept one thing: whenever you lost everything, you have to be prepared, start from the scratch. You have to prepare to start from the scratch. You have to prepare to start from the zero, to start from the scratch. Every time you have to be prepared and go to the end of the thought. When you go to the end of the thought, example, you lost something, whether some maybe loss emotionally you hurt, and why it was happened, you have to think to the extreme level. Nothing but the end of that thought you have to think, not you middle of the thing. You no need to cut that or break that thought. At the end, up to the end, you have to think what is going to happen if I lost this one, what is going to happen if I fail. So like that, you have to, what is going to happen if I lost this person. At the extreme end you have to think, then you come to know what really you have to do. And every time you should have questioning attitude. You write all the thoughts on the on the paper, and why you failed, why you lost, all these thoughts, and write down. And something like you burn all that paper, all your weakness you write down on paper, or whatever the emotional blaming thoughts yourself, whatever the thoughts yourself you are getting, all these write on one paper and burn all these thoughts. Then a state of being completed action, it will leads to at a state of being completed action. That is also one of the thing to solve. And coming to the bottom line here, every day you have to inculcate some habit how to manage depression, how to manage some sort of stuff we have to practice at the school or college level. Then we have some like forum or discussion meetup. Then we can keep on giving some solutions for each and everything, whether the teachers also can gather some stuff, students also can do some articles based on that and discuss over that. That is also one of the best thing to solve that. And so many people are blind, lame, they are doing great things, and why do you feel bad or fear or commit suicides? We have all both the limbs, we have eyes, we have very excellent intellect, then why do we get suicidal thoughts? That is waste of time, or no need to think over suicidal thoughts. Better focus on your skills and intellect. No doubt you can reach it, and postpone your thoughts, because time being intensity of the thought will be dissolved. Time being intensity of the thought will be dissolved. That is the reason, postpone your suicidal activities also, and go to the end of the thought and think, if you lost something, whether a person or some object or anything, what is going to happen at the extreme level. You have to think and write down all the thoughts on one paper and burn it. These are the solutions, my friend. Don't think that you are being lost, and don't try to keep that emotion yourself and kill yourself. Better share with your beloved people, share with your friends. When the negative emotion go out, you will become energetic again. So that is the reason people are emotional. Better you have to share it. Unless until you don't share it, obviously it start killing, and it gives ulcer, it gives hypertension, it gives diabetes, so many desserts also, because of this feeling low or belittle about yourself or negative emotion, which also leads to suicidal thoughts. That is how to manage any sort of suicidal thoughts, my friend. Whether it is exam fear or relationship breakup or sexual abuse, doesn't matter anything, because you have intellect, focus on it, you have skills, focus on that. You can do it, anybody can do it. Only believe. You have to believe it, then you can do it. Do it. I know you can do it. Thank you, my friends and students. You can do it, and never feel that you are being lost. You are already great, because we have intellect. Thank you. I am Ramesh, your soft skill trainer. Please rate, recommend and review. Please rate and recommend, review how to overcome suicidal thoughts. Please rate and recommend, review how to overcome suicidal thoughts. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much.